What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are all having a great holiday today. I just wanted to make a quick video about double pointers and their usefulness and like why we use double pointers. I know, especially if you're in Gerber's class, you're doing a lot of work with these double pointers, and I just wanted to kind of explain what we're using them for and their value to us in this assignment. Don't worry, if you're not in Gerber's class, I'll explain what's going on. So, we're pretty much doing like a Pokédex type thing. So let's say we have an array of monsters. And remember, every array is a pointer. So we'll call it M, and we'll draw this arrow. And then remember, it's going to be a whole array of monsters. And these monsters, I'll denote them by color. So this one will be red. This one will be brown. This one will be blue. We got green, and then we'll do black. Black is a good one. Okay, awesome. So this is our array of monsters. It's going through this point, it's attached to this pointer M pretty much. M is holding the memory address of this first cell, and with that memory address, we can access all the other cells. And then now, let's say, these are all of the monsters in our entire universe, but let's say we have like different regions, and each region only has specific monsters in it, and we would show that with a struct. So let's say we have a struct here, and inside this struct we'll have its name, and then we can have like whatever information we want to have about the region. And then we want to show, okay, like this region only has red, brown, and blue inside of it, and we want to be able to express that inside of the struct. So we would use a pointer. We would have to point to these cells specifically, and we would have a double pointer here, and we can also call it M, right? But first, let me show. A lot of people have been asking me, why don't we just use a single pointer? Why can't we just do a single pointer? Why do we have to do the double pointer? And so let's say we want to use a single pointer. What can we do with a single pointer? Remember, pointers have two uses. They can point at a memory address, or they can point at an array. And it's kind of it's literally the same thing, but except like one memory address is going to be almost like attached to the next memory address. So they can point at a single memory address, or they can point at an array of whatever type of pointer it is. So let's say, why don't we just allocate space for an array of monsters themselves, and if this has, 3 monsters in it, it has red, brown, and blue in it, we can just put red in here, we can just put, blue in here, and then we can put brown in here. So there's the main reasons we don't want to do it this way is because it's a waste of space. It's not efficient. That's kind of the whole point of C, is to be as efficient as possible. If we have this entire array here, and we allocate memory for another array, we're not even utilizing this array right here. It's like this is just taking up space, and this is also taking up space. So what we want to do is we want to say, okay, so let's not make another. Let's try to utilize our original array. So let's say, we're still in the single pointer mindset. Let's say we're using a single pointer, but we want to utilize this array. And I like to say, think of these arrows as highways. It's almost like a checkpoint. And the only way to get through these arrows is with a pointer. Your pointer is almost like a passport. So if we have a single pointer, okay, so let's say we point it here. We point it here. And we say, oh, okay, like, so that's our one asterisk is gonna get us to this M, but to get through the M, we need another asterisk. So we can't do that. We only have one passport, we need 2, because we can get here, but we still need to get in here, and the only way to do that is with the second asterisk. So it's like, okay, we can't do that. Okay, and let's say, all right, well, what if we point this single pointer directly at the monster we need? So we point it at red. Cool. So then we can see and say, all right, so this single pointer has red. We're almost bypassing this part here. Like we're finding the memory address of red, and we're pointing directly at it instead of pointing at the the other pointer first. The reason we don't want to do this is because what if a region has multiple monsters? Then it's only pointing at a single monster, and there's no way to point at the other monsters in that region, and that's not that's not doing what we needed to do. We needed to hold the information of all of the monsters. So it's like, all right, well, like, so we can't make an array, and we can't point at the other pointer because it's a single pointer, and also like we can't point at the specific monster because that will only hold information of one monster. So what if we had an array of pointers that can point at multiple monsters? And to do that, it would be an array of arrays. So you do double pointers here. So you have this double pointer, and let's say that this region holds 3 monsters. So let's draw its array. We malloc this, we do 3 times size of monster pointers. So we do 3 monsters here. And it's like, all right, now what we can do here is we can do that last method we did, and we can point at the specific monsters, but we have multiple pointers to use. So like, let's say this region holds red, and let's say this region holds green, and let's say this region holds blue. And it's like, oh, sweet, perfect, like now we're holding all 3 of the monsters, and we can access all of them just by, doing pointer arithmetic like here, like by going through this array and accessing them. And also, if we wanted to do that, it's almost like that double dereference. What this is actually doing is, don't think about it as pointing at, like, the path itself is not going directly to the cell. What it's going to be doing is it's going to be going almost through here, and then it's going to be able to, from there access brown, and then this one's going to point here, and then from here it's going to access blue, and then think about it. We have 2 stars now, so we have 2 passports, so we can get through this arrow, and then we can also get through this arrow. And then also, so let's draw it back to the old notation. So we had, this one holds black, brown, and red. And then now let's say we have another region, we'll draw it over here. It's got a name. And remember, these are structs. That's what, whenever I draw a box like this, it's always, that's struct. Something that holds, different data types. Multiple different data types. So, and then this is gonna have its own monster pointer, and this was confusing to a few students. They have the same name, but they're unique to the struct that they are inside of. So you don't have to worry about this array affecting this array, because they're in their own instance. So let's say that this region, it has 4 monsters or whatever. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this region holds blue, brown, green, and red. We can do the same thing we did here, is we can point at red, we can point at blue, and we can point at green. And then we can have as many regions as we want, and they can point at whatever monsters that they need to point at, because we have that double pointer inside of the struct itself. And I know that it was kind of confusing. Like, some people were really confusing, like, why do we need an array of pointers? Because we're pointing at multiple specific monsters in our old array. If we only had 1 pointer, we can only point at 1 monster. And so to make an array of pointers, you need that double pointer. I hope this was helpful for some people. I know this video was kind of short and there's like no programming, but I really just kind of wanted to explain like what we're trying to do with these double pointers here. And like, thanks so much, guys. Like, I've been getting a lot of super positive feedback on these videos. If you guys have any questions, I'm in the Discord. Feel free to send me a message on Discord, or feel free to leave a comment or whatever. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope that this was able to shed some light to some people.